in the processes that see the emergence of the leaders who occupy various political offices on their behalf.
In their separate interviews with OSBC News, Chairman Christian Association of Nigeria, Osun State Chapter, Bishop Amos Ogurinu, President Osun State Muslim Community, Alhaji Mustafa Olayiwola, and a chieftain of one of the political parties, Prince Adeyemi Masilo, spoke on the need for the electorate to participate actively in the voter registration exercise and allow peace to prevail. Representatives of traditional rulers, security agencies, and the civil society organizations expressed their support for the exercise, which holds between Thursday and Wednesday next week. Adeyemi Abodeni, OSBC News.
Meanwhile, All Progressives Grand Alliance Abga Financial Secretary in Abia State, Comrade Nnamdi Nwanaga, has resigned his position. Comrade Nwanaga announced his decision in a letter addressed to the national chairman of the party, Ozonko Victor. The letter was also copied to the Abga Deputy National Chairman, Engineer Uchenna Ukubo, Southern Nigeria, and the Abia Working Committee of the party, and issued to newsmen in Umuahia today. He hinged his sudden resignation on realignments with the leader of the All Progressives Congress (APC) and former two-time governorship flag bearer of Abga in Abia State, Dr. Alex Chimota Oti. The ex-Abga officer pledged to work with Dr. Oti in redeeming the state from the problems impeding its socio-economic and infrastructural goals and development. A National Assembly member, Senator Danjuma Goje, has expressed concern that effort to reconcile the warring camps of the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) in Gombe State has remained in comatose. A statement by the media officer to the parliamentarian, Mr. Ahmed Issa, said the situation is threatening the activities of the party in the 2023 general elections. It should be recalled that the National Reconciliation Committee of the party, chaired by Senator Abdullahi Adamu, had on the order of the chairman of the party's caretaker committee, Bimala Buni, hosted Governor Inowa Yaya of Gombe State and the leader of the party in the state. At the meeting held at the residence of Senator Adamu in Abuja, it was unanimously agreed that the warring camps should bury their differences and that the congresses conducted at wards, local government, and the state levels be looked into with a view to addressing the lopsidedness in the exercise. President Muhammadu Buhari will tomorrow be commissioning the newly built international terminal of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. The terminal has the capacity to process 14 million passengers per annum and was built on a landmass of approximately 56,000 square meters and has 66 check-in counters. A statement by the acting general manager, corporate affairs, Faithful Hope Baze, says there will also be a signing of memorandum of understanding with the Lagos State government on the 9-kilometer airport Shasha Alimosho Link Road to be constructed at the state government. The terminal was built also in Abuja, Port Harcourt, Kano, and Enugu in a bilateral arrangement between the federal government of Nigeria and the People's Republic of China. The ones in Abuja and Port Harcourt have been completed and commissioned already, while that of Kano has been completed and will soon be commissioned. The acting GM further noted that the new terminal is expected to generate about 3,000 direct and indirect employment for Nigerians, as well as enhance passenger facilitation and comforts of the Lagos airport. The chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdulrasheed Bawa, has disclosed that former Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano has been granted bail. Obiano, who is under investigation for 42 billion naira fraud, has been in FCC custody since Thursday last week, when he was arrested at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos State, while attempting to leave for the United States. Speaking to journalists on the sideline of the 5th Annual General Assembly meeting of the Network of National Anti-Corruption Institutions in West Africa in Abuja today, Bawa explained that the commission was waiting for him to perfect his bail. Asked why the commission has kept the former governor in his custody beyond the period allowed by the Constitution. Bauer said nothing political about the arrest of the former Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano. The anti-graft agency boss insisted that there was nothing political about Obiano's investigation. One of the 40 students evacuated to Sokoto from war-torn Ukraine has died 2 weeks after returning to the country. The student, late Uzefia Halilu Modakai, was in the third year of his studies in Ukraine when Russian troops invaded the country. According to the father of the deceased, former Ukrainian student Abibu Aliru Modakai, who is a serving member of the Sokoto State House of Assembly, late Uzelfa, was in Ukraine for 3 years without returning home for vacation. When the war broke out in Ukraine, Sokoto State government, through the Nigerian embassy in Ukraine, arranged for the evacuation of his students. Uzelfa is inclusive, only to return home and die 2 weeks later. Late Uzelfa was a final year student of State Medical University Ukraine and was preparing for his final year examination, which will qualify him to be a medical doctor when the unfortunate happened. Report says he has since been buried in Sokoto. This is the news across the country coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Ilawiye Okebale Osogbo, Voice of the West. Now, I made news message. Equity begets equity. Whatever you won't take, don't offer your brother. The Osun State Health Insurance Scheme, or HIS, has intensified its sensitization program aimed at ensuring access to qualitative healthcare delivery to all members of the public. The agency took its sensitization message to the people of Ilesha today. Oluwatobiloba Odunuga brings you the details.
The Osun Health Insurance Scheme, which aims to be a world-class provider of access to sustainable qualitative healthcare readily available and affordable to every resident of the state of Osun, OIS demonstrated its mission as it took the sensitization straight down to the grassroots at the Sabo Market, Irojo in Ilesha, where it enlightened the people on the benefit of having a health insurance scheme. Addressing the public, the council manager, Ilesha West Central, LCDA, Mrs. Rachel Aluko, said the state government has provided access to sustainable qualitative healthcare, which is readily available and affordable to all residents in the state of Osun. Mrs. Aluko added that the Osun Health Insurance Scheme was provided for healthy living of the people in the state.
This program is to enlighten people, to let them know what the government has in store for them.
Also speaking, the Yaloja, Mrs. Kehinde Olawale, and Babaloja, Mr. Olawale Olowoyeye of Sabo Market, enjoined all members of public to enjoy the qualitative healthcare facilities free from financial hardship to all residents in the state. The Osun Health Insurance Scheme plans include individual package, family package, informal and formal package, as well as organized private package. Oluwatobiloba Odunuga reporting for OSBC News.
Similarly, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control (NCDC) has revealed that a total of 112 persons have died of Lassa fever in Nigeria since the beginning of 2020 out of 3,079 cases recorded nationwide. The NCDC in a report disclosed that out of the figure, 45 health workers were infected by Lassa fever between January and March. Till date, 87 local government areas across 23 out of the 36 states have reported the disease so far. According to medical experts, Lassa fever is transmitted when the saliva, urine, and excreta of multi-mammalian rats come into contact with human. It also stated that human-to-human transmission is rare but can occur through contact with the body fluids of an infected person. Experts add that in some cases, Lassa fever has similar symptoms to malaria, appearing between 1 and 3 weeks after exposure to the virus, while in mild cases, the disease causes fever, fatigue, weakness, and headache. The agency explained that the animal vector for the Lassa virus is found throughout the West African region, thereby calling on neighboring countries to stay alert on the spread of the Lassa fever. The Kaduna State government has imposed a 24-hour curfew on Jema and Kaura local government areas of the state following the violence that claimed over 15 lives in Kagoro in Sunday night. The State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, who announced this in a statement, said the measure was to allow security agencies to save lives and property and restore law and order in the areas. The state government appealed to residents of Jema and Kara local government area to cooperate with security agencies with the urgent task of restoring peace, law, and order. The commissioner quoted the state governor, Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, as condemning the violence attack in the area that left many dead, property destroyed. A statement from the Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs said the security agencies have full authorization to enforce the curfew. Some schools in Owerri Metropolis today ended abruptly. School section enforced their students to return home over the alleged threat to attack them by unknown gunmen. Information gathered some sources in some locations, especially in Owerri, the state capital, as parents were seen anxiously taking their children home. Some of the school proprietors, who could not mention their names for security reasons, said they had to shut down their schools because of a letter that went viral on social media linked to unknown gunmen, warning that there will no longer be movements and schools will shut down on every Monday of the week in Igbo land. At the time of filing this report, some schools along Egbu Road, Akukuma, Amakwa, Owerri Aba Road, and Owerri Onitsha Road, out of fear, closed their schools. Also affected were some schools along MCC Urata Road, Okigwe Road, leading to Oji access, as well as World Bank areas. Association of Veteran Journalists in the States has commended Governor Adegboyega Oyetola for appointing a journalist, Mr. Yeshiko Adelu, as coordinating director in charge of the Ministry of Regional Integration. The association stated this in a statement released by its image maker, Dato Eshitu Alamu. It described Mr. Yeshiko Adelu as a capable hand in journalism, having practiced in both print and electronic media, and have gone ahead to become a barrister at law. This, it says, has made Mr. Delu a round peg in a round hole. The association congratulated the newly appointed coordinating director and wished him well in his new assignment, promising him he could always count on the association's support in the discharge of his duties. Chairman Ejibo West LCDA, Comrade Kolapo Olanyoju, says series of activities have been put in place by the authorities of the council area in order to complementing efforts of the state government. Comrade Olanyoju stated this today while featuring on Osheluwa and OSBC 104.5 FM weekly Yoruba personality interview program. According to him, youths of the council area were engaged in sporting activities like athletes and indoor games, among others, while serious sporting talent were discovered in the youth. To this end, Comrade Olanyoju recalled vividly that youths of Ijibo local government came first in the Pioneer Sports Tournament put in place by the state government then. He maintained that the Ijibo West LCDA does not rest on its horse in the area of road grading for easy accessibility to the rural roads, with the aim of complementing the efforts of Governor Adegboyega Oyetola. Meanwhile, the 17th president of Ijesha Sport Club, Prince Kaode Arimoro, has promised that the cooperation of his team members to leave the club better than it met it in all ramifications. Prince Arimoro made the promise in Ilesha shortly after his investiture as the new president of Ijesha Sports Club Ilesha. Details of the events are presented from our studios.
It was a gathering of who is who in the society as the 17th president of Ijesha Sports Club, Prince Kayode Arimoro, was invested amidst pomp and celebration. The new president of the club, after taking the baton of office officially from his predecessor, Chief Idowu Korede, pledged to make the club rank among the best not only in Osun State but in the nation at large. Addressing the gathering, Prince Arimoro identified concreting of the club's parking lot as one of his administration's achievements in less than 152 days in office. He announced to the members of Ijesha Sports Club that overhauling the club's gatehouse is the next project to be executed by his team. While noting that the project will go up 10 million naira, Prince Arimoro called on club members and friends of the club to donate generously to make the dream of lifting the club to greater heights a reality. In his welcome address, Chairman Investiture Committee, who is also the Vice President of the club, Otumba Jare Ayomathens, remarked that Ijesha Sports Club remained a force to be reckoned with in Osun State in the area of sporting activities, development and sports promotion. Otumba Jare Ayomathens, the General Manager and Chief Executive Officer of Unique FM and Freedom Television, Ilesha, promised his unalloyed support to the chairman of Ijesha Sports Club in all ramifications, Speaking at the epoch-making event, the grand patron of the club, the paramount ruler of Ijesha land, and the chairman of Osun State Council of Traditional Rulers, Oba Dr. Gabriel Arumalaron, represented by the Arijo of Irojo, Olusegun Akeju, advised the new executives to take a cue from the immediate past executive members and build on their achievements. Also speaking, the Ashiwaju of Ijesha land, Chief Olayinka Fashui, implored the new executive members to live above board and evolve new ideas that will move the club forward. In attendance were the traditional rulers, including the Elegboro of Ijebu-Jesha, Olumelu of Imelu, and Shawe of Ilesha, among others.
The meantime, wife of the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Professor Amdalat Bolanle Olaniyan, has called on a generation of Nigerian children to be focused, committed to the cause of promoting moral values, and do away with social vices that are capable of truncating their dreams in life. Professor Bolanle Olaniyan made the call at the grand finale of Alaja Sekinat Adekola Sports competition organized in honor of the Iyadini of Yorubaland by the Southwest Zone of the Association of Model Islamic Schools, AMIS. Details are now presented from our studios.
Speaking as the chairperson of the occasion, wife of the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Professor Amdalat Bolanle Olaniyan, urged the female children not to be distracted by their male counterparts and vice versa, as their future should always be their focus and priority, urging them to respect and always be obedient to their parents, teachers, and elderly ones for them to be successful. She also admonished them to shun truancy. Earlier in her address, the wife of the Governor State of Osun, Mrs. Kafayato Itola, who was represented by former Amirat of Form 1, Alaja Shuhaibat Babalola Adubi, lauded the Association of Model Islamic Schools, AMIS, for counting Osun worthy of hosting the event, pledging the continued commitment of Governor Adegboyega Oyetola's administration to the cause of Osun Western and Islamic education for the sake of humanity. The honoree, who is the Iyadini of Yorubaland, Alaja Shekinat Adekola, was represented by Alaja Fausiyat Ali, while one of his sons, Engineer Adeniyi Adekola, pledged to do all within his capacity to support the good cause as put together by AMIS. The chairman of the occasion in the Southwest, Mukadam Musliuddin Fadeyi, appealed to the incoming executive to sustain the temple in the interest of humanity. The biennial sports event, attended by the dignitaries from all the southwestern states, including Alhaji Kola Adefajo and Alhaja Ramat Omishore. At the end of the competition, Oyo State came first, while Osun State clinched the second position and Ekiti took the third position.
Meanwhile, the Super Eagles camp has opened in Abuja ahead of Friday's World Cup qualifier against the Black Stars of Ghana. Adeyemi Abedere has more sports updates.
Manager Austin Eguavon has handed a late call-up to France-based midfielder Innocent Bonke as a replacement for injured Wilfred Ndidi 5 days to the face-off with Black Stars of Ghana in the FIFA World Cup playoff. Ndidi will miss both legs after suffering a knee injury during the second half of Leicester City's 2-1 loss to Rennes in a Europa Conference League round of 16 game on Thursday. Leicester City's boss, Brendan Rodgers, confirmed that the holding midfielder will be out of action for at least 3 weeks, effectively ruling him out of the back-to-back matches with Ghana. Bonke has been in the international wilderness since coming off the bench against Central African Republic in a World Cup qualifier back in October last year. His second cap for the national team, having made his debut versus Cape Verde. The former Marmot star has started each of the last 7 games played by Lorient in the French Ligue 1. Bonke will compete with Joe Aribo, Ogenekaru Itebo, and Frank Onyeka for one of the starting spots in the midfield against Ghana. Meanwhile, Paul Onuachu could now be a big doubt for the Super Eagles against Ghana on Friday after he was conspicuously missing in action for Ghent in a crucial Belgian Jupiler clash at champions Club Brugge. Onuachu was first flagged off as doubtful for his club after he missed their final training for the trip to Club Brugge due to illness. The 27-year-old Onuachu has so far netted 16 goals in the Belgian league. the giant striker has mainly been a cover for Napoli striker Victor Osimhen in the Super Eagles squad. Both strikers missed the recent African Cup of Nations in Cameroon on account of injury. In the meantime, the Abuja camp of the Super Eagles has opened as players have been moving in ahead of the crucial World Cup final qualifier against Ghana. The team will depart for Ghana on Wednesday ahead of the first leg on Friday at the Babayara Stadium, Kumasi. According to reports, Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa, Saudi Arabian-based Odion Ihalo, and Watford trio of William Truss-Ekong, Ogenikaro Etebo, and Emmanuel Dennis are the first to hit the camp, having flew in last night. Ghana forward Jordan Ayew, who missed the World Cup qualifier this Friday against the Super Eagles after contracting COVID-19. According to reports, the former Aston Villa forward has tested positive for COVID-19, making him a huge doubt for the match. The Black Stars will now be without the Ayew brothers for the double-header. Andrew Ayew has been ruled out of the game due to suspension, and his brother has contracted COVID-19. Similarly, Bristol City attacker Anthony Semenyo is also out injured. For the umpteenth time, fans have once again taken laws into their hands as they unleash terror on Enyimba Football Club players and officials in the Nigerian Professional Football League encounter against Wiki Tories of Bauchi on Sunday. The two-time African champions Enyimba held Wiki Tories to a goalless draw in a match day 19 encounter, and trouble started after the center referee allegedly blew the final whistle 2 minutes from regulation time, despite the time-wasting antics of the visitors. Fans of Wiki Tories became apprehensive following the referee's decision and descended heavily on Enyimba players and officials. Nigeria long jumper Ezebrumi has picked up from where she stopped at the Olympic Games to win a silver medal at the 2022 World Athletics Indoor Championships. Ivana Vuleta won gold at the event after hitting 7.06 meters. Silver went to Ezebrumi thanks to a third-round effort of 6.85 meters. By that feat, Brumi has not only become the third Nigerian to win medals at World Athletics Championship indoors and out, as well as the Olympics behind Glory Alozie and late Sunday Bada, but also the third long jumper to win a world indoor title after Paul Emodi in 1987 and Chioma Ajua in 1997. Sport Update returns tomorrow. My name is Adeyemi Aboderi.
And the news across the country, here again, and meet your points. The Independent National Electoral Commission has expressed its readiness to conduct a free, fair, transparent, and conclusive governorship elections in the state comes July 16. The chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdul Rashid Bawa, has disclosed that former Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano has been granted bail. The Kaduna State government has imposed a 24-hour curfew on Jema and Kaura local government areas of the state following the violence that claimed over 15 lives in Kakuru on Sunday night. That was the news across the country, edited by Nathaniel Oyugoki and delivered by Olushola Egbodofo. For more about us, you can log on to www.osbcng.org. Thanks for listening. Good evening.